Oh, hello. Welcome to tonight's I'mPossible conversation. I'm Suki, your host, and my goal is to introduce you to the ordinary people that are doing extraordinary things. I'mPossible conversation is all about you, your story, and your journey. My guest tonight is Nealan. She's a coach on the McGuire Program. Let me bring into the live feed now. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Suki. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing? Thank you for your time, for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. It's really kind of you.
Okay. Yeah, I was really wanted to have you back here, and then we've scheduled once before and it didn't happen, so I'm really glad you could make it tonight. Yeah.
Really nice to chat to you.
Okay, yeah. So basically, I'mPossible conversation is all about you, your story, and your journey. I usually start it with what's your favorite quote and why is it your favorite quote? Because I believe people's favorite quote would sum them up.
Yes, I agree as well. My favorite quote is one that I actually was told at the very beginning of my journey with the McGuire Program. Somebody read it out to me on one of the courses, and I've never forgot it really. You don't inspire others by being perfect. You inspire them with how you deal with your imperfections, because I think we all look up to, celebrities and really famous people for who they are and what they do. But actually, the people in my life, I think, who have inspired me the most have been the ones who have been through a lot but come out of the other side as stronger people. So I would say that quote really sums up what it means to me to be inspired. So that's one of my favorites.
That's awesome, because we really don't need to be that perfect at all.
Not at all, no. In fact, I find that people that I know who have been through, any kind of sort of adversity, as I say, tend to be the ones who inspire people the most. And at one time, and we'll talk about this, but at one time I would have never believed that was possible for anybody to be exactly who they are, imperfections and all, and still be quite inspiring to people. And I don't see myself really as that inspiring, but I know other people have said, they maybe have watched a video or listened to a radio interview and found it quite inspiring and have done similar things themselves. So yeah, I'm a strong believer in that.
Yeah. Do you know what? I really do think you are such an inspiring lady. And I would like you to introduce yourself to our viewers, because who are you as a, Lisa?
Well, Lisa Nealan is my name. I like to start with that because it was something that at one time I could never say without real struggle. I'm 43. I live in Northumberland with my daughter Rachel, who's usually at Newcastle as she studies there, but she's home at the minute. And we live really near the coast, which is lovely, with our dog Max, who's actually in camera. I see there. He likes to be in the limelight. And I work for Northumbrian Water. I've worked for them for about 15 years as a ops support assistant, covering or supporting about 7 or 8 of their water treatment works. So love my job, and obviously I'm heavily involved in the McGuire Program, which we'll talk about, which I joined back in 2015 as a source of help really for this stammer that I had for like 30 years that I was really getting quite frustrated with.
Okay, so shall we talk about the McGuire Program, because you are coach and I know you do lots of work through that and help other people.
Yeah,
What's the McGuire Program?
yeah, the Mcguire Program is an international program for people who stutter. It's actually run by people who stutter. So Dave McGuire, who is the founder of the program, has a stutter himself, and he founded the program in the early 90s, and he lives in California in the US, and the program is now international. So when you join the program and you've done a course, which is a residential course of 3 or 4 days, you can then go on courses wherever in the world you want to. All courses are the same format, and it's just an organization which is quite unique in that we are all stutterers. We are never cured because there's no cure, but we learn a different kind of breathing technique and different coping strategies, and a real sort of non-avoidance focus as well to get more control really of our speech, so that we can have conversations like I'm having with you.
Yeah, because I wouldn't even know your stutter. Because tell me about, like, when did it start and how did you cure your stutter? Because you said there is no cure, but for me, yeah, it's just how do you train yourself to speak normal?
Well, there's no proven cure. I think what there is, though, is I think with maybe lots of effort and time, you can gain a level of control over it for sure. So at one time, before I got help, I found that the stammer controlled me. It dominated every aspect really of what I did, or more or less what I didn't do, to be honest. Where now I feel with a level of, with commitment and hard work and in practice, it takes a lot of practice, to be honest, every day, that I can maintain a level of control, and that I feel I'm in control of it rather than it's in control of me. But yeah, I'm a person who stammers, and I'll always be that. But I love to speak now, and with the help of a lot of people on the program, who help me, and I'm able to then help other people as well. We all support each other. It's a massive support network.
Is it a very popular condition?
Yes, I mean about 1% of the population have a stammer. When I felt alone with it before I joined the program, I thought I was the only person in the world that had a stammer, apart from a couple of celebrities maybe. But then suddenly you reach out for support, and I found myself in a room, in a hotel room where the venue was, in a massive room full of people, all who had a stammer. And that's something quite comforting about the fact that they could all relate and I could relate to them. We all have very similar stories with regards to how it's impacted our lives. And it was something that was really sort of heartwarming for me, really. It was, and it still is on courses, because obviously we've got to keep going to them to practice our speech. And there's something lovely about, being with people who completely understand. So yeah, 1% of the population, which doesn't sound a lot, but that's around about 70 million or so people who really do struggle to communicate. And for some, it really makes no difference to them. I work with a guy who, has a stammer, and who knows about my story and how work helped me to get help. But he's absolutely fine with his speech. He's comfortable with how he speaks. So it's whether people are happy with it, I guess, or whether it's really having an effect on their lives so much that they want to do something about it.
Mm-hmm. So how did you start your journey? How long ago was it?
Yeah, well, I stammered from about the age of 8, and I did have a little bit of speech therapy as a child, and I found that did help in a way, but it was just like a once a week hour kind of thing, and it fizzled out eventually because it just wasn't helping when I got really nervous at school, reading out things and so on. So as an adult, I completely by chance came across the program by attending like a road show, they call it, at Northumbrian Water, where they bring all the staff together once a year with the leadership team, and they have a well-being scheme at work. So one of the guys had done a video about his experience of having a stammer and being supported by Northumbrian Water to go on this program. And I just by chance listened to this video and thought, wow, that is something that possibly could help me. And then within about a few days of that, I watched a documentary as well on Channel 4 all about the McGuire Program. So both of the things came together, which was, really weird, but obviously fantastic for me. And I thought, oh, it might be something that I can tap into for a little bit of support. Never thinking in a million years it would help as much as it has, I've got to say. So I joined in 2015. It was in a hotel in Newcastle. I remember pulling up in the car and going to the door and coming back to the car and going to the door. I just was so nervous.
You nearly didn't go in.
I was so emotional because I didn't feel as it was fair that I had this stammer, and that I had to put myself sort of in this line of like, I found it very fearful, and I think a lot of people do. That level of fear to suddenly try and hide it for so many years, because I had a covert stammer, which is when you can swap words around to avoid sounds that you can't say very well. So I felt as though I'd lived a lie for many years, really, and I would get by a lot of the time by replacing sounds. But there was obviously things I couldn't replace, like my name. You can't change your name. So there was a lot of things where I lived I couldn't say. I couldn't ask for a ticket to Newcastle on a bus. I would always struggle with end sounds. So I think I came to the point where I really did know that I needed help. But yeah, going into that hotel that March in 2015 was a pretty big deal. I hadn't told many people. I was a bit ashamed, I guess, which is really common in people who stammer. It's that, that shame and that guilt of not being able to communicate. So yeah, it was fantastic in the end. It was Wednesday night to a Sunday. It's a residential course, and it was wonderful because it deals with the whole aspect, not just the physical, like what you see, when you see all that tension when people can't get their words out and all that, everything that you see on the surface. But what really did helped me a lot was dealing with all the psychological stuff, all the things that people don't really understand unless they have one, which is like the guilt, the shame. So yes, for me, it was 2 seconds. I'm having a bit of an issue here, and it isn't my computer. So where are you? Where are you? No, it's just a reminder has shown up. So just bear with me 2 minutes and I'll get you back.
Yeah.
Sorry about this, Suki.
It's fine. Yeah, we've got loads of people are watching, and Sandra And Katie, they put some comment on. Katie says, Lisa's one of my best friends on the program. And she's
Oh,
my biggest inspiration in every way.
oh,
Strongest and kindest person I know. Lots of love to you, Lisa.
oh, that's so lovely. I
I
mean,
know.
we are all friends. We join the program, all in the same boat, kind of thing. All wanting to get support, and we support each other. You know, there's a lot of things on at the moment. Just when all of this craziness is going on, when we can't get out into the real world to. I've got your back, by the way. We can't get out in the real world to practice our speech. We've got lots of people that are really taking the time at the minute to have Zoom meetings and just things like that. We've got a treasure hunt, which one of our instructors over in Ireland, or two of our instructors have organised. And it's just a way of people ringing around coaches, keeping up with the speech, because obviously it's a bit like a sport. If you don't practice all the time, you really lose the skill in a way. So yeah, that's lovely of her to say that. We are all friends. I guess we're all in it together and help each other.
Yeah. So probably it affects the people's self-esteem a lot.
It does. I mean, to be honest, I was very much like a type of person before I joined the program that would very much be, I would hide away a lot. You are isolated in the fact you feel as though nobody else understands, but also you isolate yourself as well, because you don't want to be perceived as somebody who has a stammer. It's just, I wouldn't have wanted anybody to know. Although after the program, when I actually disclosed to people at work and at home, then it was weird, because a lot of people said, oh yeah, I noticed that you had a stammer, because like I said before, there's times when you can't swap words around. So on the phone in work, for example, if I was to give an address of where an order had to go, I would often really struggle on certain words, and they would hear that. But so yeah, a lot of people, you think you're hiding it, but a lot of people, a lot of times you can't. So, but yeah, it does affect every aspect, like physically. I think, that stress and that fear. I've always been worried about, stammering in front of someone. Now, obviously, it's not like that. I'm quite upfront about having a stammer. I tell lots of people now that I have it, because it brings the fear levels down, which then in turn helps my confidence and my level of fluency, I guess. So yeah.
But then if you go back in 2018, that's when I very first met you. And the place we met was a Toastmasters public speaking club. and I don't think I am that ignorant, but I didn't even realize you had stammer. You have stammer, and that was a public speaking club. And I was very nervous standing up and speaking in front of people. But then you were amazing there.
Oh, well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Toastmasters, again, a lot of people on the Mcguire Program actually do join Toastmasters. You know, I'm a coach for one of our grads over in Pakistan, actually, and another girl that I coach over in India. And they're heavily involved with Toastmasters over in their countries, and lots of grads all over the world with the program have joined Toastmasters, just because with the program, we find that when we get over that fear stage at the beginning by putting in lots of practice, we actually do class it as a sport, so like a sport of speaking. So we enjoy speaking. So obviously coming to something like Toastmasters is a real treat for somebody who has a stammer. But obviously a bit like when I met you, I was quite open from the start about it because I wanted to have fun with speaking, but I did not want to hide away from the fact that I was a person with a stammer either. So it's lovely to be able to, I guess, join things, like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a really nice thing, I guess, to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
It's brilliant.
I was actually as inspired by you when I met you at Toastmasters, because obviously English is not your first language, and the fact
No,
that you spoke so beautifully at Toastmasters, you always used to inspire me, and you are a great support when I joined. So
oh, thank you.
you're a very lovely lady.
Oh, thanks so much. And we've got a question for you, Lisa. Callum is asking, hi, Lisa. What's your biggest speaking accomplishment since taking control of your stutter?
My biggest, there's been quite a few. I've done a couple of live radio interviews, which have been quite challenging. I think probably the biggest for me was actually part of the course. So at the very end of the course, we go to a busy street, wherever that course has been held, and we stand on a soapbox and we speak. And considering this is about 4 days from joining the course, everybody gets up, because by then, we've been with coaches for a few days, our confidence is up, and people motivate us and encourage us and tell us we can do it, and we do. And I think actually my first course was obviously local as well in Newcastle. So actually to stand on a soapbox in the middle of Northumberland Street.
Wow.
And we don't have to say very much, but it's just the achievement of being able to do it. So I would say actually that was probably my biggest achievement in the way of speaking. And also probably equal to that is I did a little bit of a talk to our managing director and leadership team at Northumbrian Water once, and that was pretty nerve-wracking because they had helped me so much with the programme. I think it was Stammering Awareness Day, and on that year I decided that would be my speaking challenge. So I would say both of those occasions were probably the biggest.
Yeah, and you also took a part of a program in Channel 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
ITV, yes, that was a couple of years ago. Yeah. So we had a documentary that ITV ran that was School for Stammerers, which was on ITV, and the dog in there with my shoe as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill him after this. It was a brilliant documentary to be part of. So I think there was about 6 or 7 coaches, and we all coached somebody that had applied to be on the documentary. My graduate, my sort of person to coach was called Jessie, and she's from Wales. We're still very much in touch. So everybody had somebody to coach. And it was lovely because the documentary ran through their journey on a course. It was held down in London. So it was really nice to see them come in, and it was a real mix of ages. The coaches were from different areas and regions as well. So it was a lovely experience. Yeah, it was really nice. Really nice and brilliant just to be able to raise awareness as well, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's just about getting that message across that there is actually support out there, you know, if you want it, that is.
Yeah, because it's want. It's like make that decision, isn't it? I want to do something about it.
It is, yeah. I mean, there's, you know, it's not for everybody. So a lot of people sort of, you know, I think join, and then I don't think they're quite, the heart's quite in it, and they tend to go away, and you find that they come back at a later stage when they really, sometimes you've got to really need something to put the work in, I think, and it is a lot of work. You know, it doesn't come easy. We do breathing exercises every morning, make lots of calls to coaches, and you know, it's a lot of effort. But for me, being able to enjoy having conversations like this just makes it all so worth it.
Yeah. So how long time do you need to reserve for your exercises? And
so it's 20 minutes. Generally, it's about 20 minutes of breathing in the morning. Just really deep breaths, and, you know, speech practice as well. At the minute, we're doing a lot of warm up sessions on Zoom with members of the program, which is lovely. And yeah, it's just really about warming up the diaphragm, where we actually breathe from, to power out the words. We actually warm that up every day so that we're ready to go into speaking situations. So, you know, you have to put in that time. Once we don't, or for any reason we can't, you can actually very quickly see a bit of a decline in your speech if you don't keep things up. So it's all about effort. All about
effort and repetition, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. I got sad here asking, before Mcguire, was there anything you had on your bucket list that you have achieved after your first course, other than the bus incident? I don't know, it's probably like inside joke, other than the bus incident.
Yeah, well, I think one of the main things for me that I wanted to get out of it was I love to travel, and I love to have holidays. And Rachel was at an age where she was going off to university, and I really wanted to be able to travel on my own. And obviously, when your speech isn't great, there's a lot of communication that you've got to do. So I would say that traveling was way up there on my bucket list. I really wanted to see places that I had never seen before. So I've managed to actually incorporate travel with courses and do a few courses abroad, which has been really nice. And so, yeah, that was way up there. But also just to be able to go to work and feel as though I was contributing to, you know, whatever they were working on. I didn't really feel as though I was. I felt as though I was just really going to work and, yeah, doing, I guess, what I needed to do, but not having a real active part in things. So those were the two biggest sort of things that I wanted to overcome after joining the program.
And I think you've done lots of traveling, haven't you?
Little bits.
Little bit, yeah. Because when I ring you, you're just like, oh, I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. And you're never here. You always
little bits. I think for me, sometimes, I mean, I do a lot of courses in the UK, particularly we've got two regions in the UK, and with me being from the north of England, I tend to do a lot that are nearest home, I've got to say, because it's less travel. But yeah, I find that it challenges my speech more when you travel to other countries and other regions. because you don't know anybody there. So part of the challenge is just the fact that, you know, you've had the courage to walk into a course where you know you're not going to know anyone. So one of the first courses, well, the first course I did outside of the UK was obviously in Ireland, and I love Ireland anyway. So that was my first sort of trip from, you know, the normal regional courses. And then went to Dubai that same year, which I loved. I just loved the experience of getting to know Mcguire graduates from a completely different culture, different background. It was amazing. And then, yeah, been back to Ireland again and did a course in New York last year, which again, New York was way up there on my bucket list. And Rachel started to go off and do her own sort of holidays with friends when she went to uni. So it was a good opportunity to go somewhere else that I had really wanted to travel to. So I tend to do the course and then have a couple of days doing touristy things. So it's lovely because you can actually enjoy traveling about, and with it being international, it's so easy to do that. So yeah, it's lovely.
Lovely. So what's the big dream and passion? Like what where can you see yourself in like 5-10 years time?
Well, I want to keep on, I think, just doing what I'm doing. I have regions that I've never really went to yet, from a Mcguire point of view, that I really want to. So I think just to carry on pushing out comfort zones in my personal life, just to be the best person that I can be. Just to see Rachel graduate next year, and you know, to carry on being happy and do whatever she's got to do. So yeah, just to hopefully just carry on exactly the way I'm doing, and just let opportunities come and not avoid anymore. And just, you know, it's so easy for us. I guess it's always a part of us to avoid and say no to things. But actually, in the past few years, I've actually realised that, you know, life's too short to say no to things, and you've just got to grab opportunities and see it as them being, you know, chances to make progress. So yeah, just a little bit of traveling, maybe, hopefully, and just to enjoy life as much as I can, really.
Oh, lovely. I got another couple of questions from Sad, and he's asking, which was your favorite Mcguire region, and will you be trying new region in November?
Well, I don't think I've actually got a favourite, and that is the honest truth, because they're all special, I think, in their own ways. The ones abroad are special because I get to meet lots of new people. And the ones at home are lovely because I tend to know most people there, and it's nice to see them again. So I haven't got a favourite region. I think I always come back from every course, no matter where they are, thinking, wow, like, I've been really honoured to spend a few days with those people. That's how I feel about everywhere. And when the courses begin again, Saad is actually, he's from Pakistan, and there's going to be a course over there, which obviously I would love to be on one of his courses in his own region. He's been at a lot of mine, like where I've gone. So, but yeah, there's a lot of places that I would love to sort of travel to for courses.
Lovely. This sounds like a very good program, because there are lots of people. How many graduates and how many students have you got so far? Just on there just for you. I'm sure, like for Mcguire, there are thousands.
Do you know what? I don't. I've lost count, because they're all obviously in touch with them all the time. They're all at different stages of their sort of progress, if you know, if you like. and yeah, numerous and from all over as well, which I find really fascinating, you know, and how technology enables us to help each other from like thousands of miles away is fantastic. But yeah, the program itself, you know, has thousands of members all over the world, has a few hundred, you know, coaches that are all committed to helping people with their speech. So yeah, it's grown obviously all the time. With the courses going to be coming back soon, you know, we'll get new people coming in and we'll support them like, you know, that like we've been supported, and that's just how it goes.
Yeah. So you're probably going to continue doing what you're doing now and help more people.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's a really lovely feeling to be able to give back, you know, very similar support than you've had yourselves. And I think, like I say, I've said a couple of times, but I think the lovely thing is that because we can all relate to each other, we appreciate that people who reach out for support, like that's such a massive step. It takes a lot of courage to say, you know, I have an issue with this. I find this a real problem for me. Can I have some help?
Yeah.
So I think just to be able to speak to somebody over the phone or help someone at a support group is a really nice thing. And I mean, even as a coach, I learn a lot from people that ring me for help. We help each other, and that's how it works, and it works really well.
It's being together in that support network. That's the most important thing, isn't it?
Yes, I think it is. I think it's a very unique organisation with regards to it being based on stammerers helping stammerers, because I think that is been the key for me. You know, and everybody has, like I say, very similar stories, similar experiences, so it's easy to help each other.
Yeah, you understand each other better because you know what's it like.
Definitely. Yeah. 100%. So, you know, you might get someone ringing you that's having a specific issue with a sound or maybe a situation that's affecting their speech, and you will have probably been in the same situation yourself. So it's, you know, it's so easy to be able to help someone if you know exactly how it feels. So it's just lovely really to be able to help each other. You know, I've done warm-up calls before this conversation with coaches. So, you know, coaches help coaches, grads help coaches. We all help each other. There's no sort of different levels of, you know, yes, we might be all at different stages of where we are with our speech, but we also all have an understanding that you could work really hard, you could be really confident speaker, but then something in life comes along that knocks you back. And, you know, if you imagine like a staircase, we're often knocked back a few stairs and then we have to build ourselves back up. So we often, you know, have to remember that we're all beginners, if you see what I mean, because it's so easy to go back as it is to go forward. So it's about, I guess, just helping each other stay on the same road.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree. Yeah. Okay. So moving on, I would like to find out about you a little bit as well. Because I can, like, I know that what the McGuire Program is about and how wonderful helping so many people. And so now it's going back to, it's all about you, Lisa, now. So what's the best gift you've ever been given?
The best gift. I think I've always been a believer that the best gift that you can either receive or give is time. I would rather that someone give me a little bit of their time, I give them time. I think that's actually it actually is one of the greatest gifts, because I think everybody's so busy in life, but if you can just give a little bit of your time to people, I think it's and do good things with that time, then I think that's the best gift ever.
That's the loveliest answer I've ever had in this I'mPossible conversation. Absolutely. The time is the most precious thing
in
the whole wide world.
It is, and you might not have much of it. Yeah, you might not have much of it, but I think just to be able to give up some of your time for someone else is the best gift, the best gift you could give.
Oh, love it. Love it. So my second question would be, if you could live anywhere, where would it be and why?
Oh, do you know what? I would have to say Ireland. I've always loved Ireland, and there's something about it, even when I fly across there, there's something about when you land in Dublin there, and I don't know, it's like a weight's being lifted off my shoulders a little bit. I find it the most relaxing place that I've ever been to.
Really?
Italy would probably be a close second, because we love holidays in Italy, but Ireland, there's something about Ireland that I've always had a real love for. And it's just everywhere that I've ever been to in Ireland, I feel as though I'm almost at home, which sounds a bit weird, but it's just always been really special to me. So if I could live anywhere, I would live in Ireland.
I've never been.
Oh, you need to go. It's just the most breathtaking scenery, and the people are super friendly, and it's just
like here.
Oh yeah, exactly. They are actually. They are very much like here, for in the way of, because I know when I do courses, it's funny when people come from other countries to do courses in Newcastle, they always say, oh, you know, when we go out to speak to strangers, they always say, oh, it's super friendly in Newcastle. Well, it's exactly the same over in Ireland, and it's just, it's everywhere is like a picture postcard.
Lovely. Lovely. So can you cook any Irish food? What do you cook better than anyone? Like maybe not Irish, or just general, like, yeah.
Do you know what? I have to be honest, Suki, I can't cook at all, really. I make some nice soups, but apart from that, I really can't cook. My friends, if they're watching this, would be laughing, because I can't lie, because in case they're watching, I tend to go to Marks and Spencer's and get ready-made meals that are all done for me. So no, I can't cook. Can't cook to save my life.
Oh, you don't cook?
I try. I do try and cook.
Yeah.
And I do like to cook. And now Rachel's home from uni, we've cooked a few things together. But no, I'm not the best cook.
Because I think I can't cook. No, I can't cook, but I don't cook that much anyway. But if I need to cook, I'll just cook here.
Yeah.
So what makes you laugh at most?
Oh, I think just time with friends tends to make me laugh a lot. Me and Rachel have lots of laughs over silly things at home. We both love a good laugh. Just basically just good times, good fun times, which they're obviously lacking at the minute a little bit, aren't they? But when we get back to some kind of normality, it'll be nice to have more laughs.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite comedian?
I would actually say probably, I quite like Jack Whitehall. I like Sarah Millican. I like, who else do I like? Peter Kay. I really like.
Oh, do you like him?
Yeah, I like quite a few comedians, but yeah, it's just good to have a laugh sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Because they just bring in just in a very everyday stuff and just makes it a quite good fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, if you had a warning label, what would yours say?
I would probably say something like, um, take me as I am kind of thing. I'm just exactly who I am, which is
Uh-huh.
lovely because I used to actually hide from who I really was.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I am who I am, like it or leave it kind of thing. I would say that
Uh-huh.
would be what my label would say.
So it's not really a warning label, isn't it?
Not really. No.
No,
Super
definitely not.
sensitive would probably be another one because
Uh-huh.
I'm a real softie and I'm very sensitive. So I would
Uh-huh.
probably say that would be probably one of my warnings as well. But yeah, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
there's anything too wrong with that. But yeah.
Yeah, I know, Lisa, you are just so lovely.
Oh, you are as well.
Yeah. So, by any chance, are you distantly related to anyone famous?
Not that I'm aware of.
Mm-hmm.
No, not that I'm aware of. Nobody's told us I am.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be nice if a famous relation turned up, but no, not that I'm aware of. Are you?
I don't think so. Not here. Not here anyway. Maybe. Yeah, no, not really. Yeah. So it's been like 46 minutes. I can't believe the time flies by when
It's
you're
gone
having
so
fun.
quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So, if I ask you, what's your I am possible moment? The moment that you thought, like, looked at your achievement and you thought, actually, do you know what? I thought I would never thought that would happen to me, type of.
I think probably the biggest thing for me is just being comfortable with who I am. I
Mm-hmm.
think that part of things was actually, in a way, more special for me than actually not blocking on words, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense, because that is the part that I used to hide. I used to
Mm-hmm.
hide exactly who I was. Now I'm fine, exactly fine with who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think just being me and
Yeah.
being okay with just
Mm-hmm.
being me and being
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more honest about who I am as a person,
Mm-hmm.
I think would probably be the one thing that I guess out of everything that I'm the most happiest with. I would say that I'm more comfortable in my own skin. I still feel as though I'm bettering myself all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel more comfortable in my own skin.
That's wonderful. And what would be your message to our viewers?
Well, I would just say, like, be yourself, be happy. If you need any support with anything at all, reach out for it. I did, and
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really looked back.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say one of my biggest things I would say is just be kind, like always be kind, because
Mm-hmm.
you just don't know really what people have going on in their lives. And I think that's probably one of my biggest things ever is just to be kind. Be
Yeah.
you and be kind.
Yeah. Exactly. Thanks so much for your time, Lisa. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on I'mPossible conversation. And I just admire you so much. And I know, like, you are inspiration to many. And I'm really looking forward to see you soon when we all can go out.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
seeing you as well, getting back to Toastmasters again and in
Yeah.
courses with the program and just seeing friends again. But it's been a real pleasure to speak to you. Thanks for giving me the opportunity, because it's always a good challenge speech-wise, and it's always so lovely, Suki, to have a conversation with you.
Oh, thanks so much. And I would like to thank you to everyone who is tuned in tonight, and thank you very much for your time, and hopefully you guys all enjoyed our Lisa's story. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.